Hey guys, welcome to my second Warriors LGBTQ+ headcanons video. I covered my headcanons of lesbian Mothwing, gay Tallstar, bisexual Leafpool, and transgender Redtail, since Warriors doesn't explicitly include queer characters. I will link it in the description below so you can check it out. This time I'll be going over Mousefur, Longtail, Sol, and Rosetail. So first up is Asexual Mousefur. I have a bias towards talking about her since I voiced her in Little Dragon Studios' short 3D animated series about warriors. I will also have links to that project in the description if you guys want to check it out, because it was amazing. The animation is astounding, taking into consideration the fact that everyone is just working on a fan-made passion project. Anyway, Mousefur is neat and unique because of her status as a first arc queen who never has kits. None. Even with the misogyny in the treatment of she-cats and the prophecies begin. She gets away without a mate and without kittens. She also becomes a character that ultimately is more important and held up in the fandom than characters like Goldenflower, or whichever other queens end up living past the darkest hour and become elders. I don't know if there are anymore. Either way, to me, Mousefur, coming from that time when warriors or every she-cat had kits, not having kits meant something. And likely this is due to her being aroace or at least asexual, to me at least. Next up is Longtail. Longtail has a similar vibe to me as Mousefur, being aroace, and them interacting as elders made me very happy as a young reader, though I never saw or wanted to see anything romantic between them. Their platonic relationship and banter has a special spot in my brain designated to wholesome nostalgia. Unlike Mousefur, Longtail is much more openly showy, ambitious, and morally gray in the series. He is the guy from the iconic scene with the fire star and the collar and the ear thing, you know, we all know. Greypaw implies that he's an impressive and attractive young warrior, which makes the fact that he doesn't have any kits or a mate noticeable. You'd think he'd have cats all over him. Longtail gets all the girls. But he doesn't. He is content being a warrior. And then he's content being an elder when he retires after losing his sight. Whether or not he should have needed to do this, he seems quite content with it. He appears to grow out of his ambition and is a wonderful foil to Mousefur in the Elder's Den. So while I put Mousefur down as ace to match her color scheme, I gave Longtail the arrow flag to match his, despite my headcanons for them both being both. Sol is next, and I had a lot of fun with this. I went into this bust knowing that I wanted to make him more long and stylized, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Similar to Redtail, the reasoning I have for Sol being trans is due to him being a tortoiseshell tom. I originally wanted to give him a non-binary flag, but sometimes the term trans can be an umbrella term for NB identities, so I figured the trans flag would leave it open to more interpretation, since I couldn't figure out if I wanted to headcanon him as FTM, NB, transmasc, or what. I could have probably drawn Sol with the arrow or ace flag too. At some point I'll probably make different versions of them with all the other pride flags they could be headcanoned as, to put on pins or something, but I'm gonna need to find a place to vend if I keep making these guys. I've started to go to conventions now that I'm an adult human and can make my own decisions on a whim, and I would love to do a little artist alley thing at some point. If y'all think that'd be fun, maybe I'll see you at a con near me once I have inventory? Anyways, as I was saying, Sol is also one of those characters that is at least somewhat perceived as impressive. He's described as looking like a lion, as well as being wonderfully charismatic. If he wanted a mate, I'm sure he would have been able to find one, at least for a short time, but he just doesn't seem interested in anything other than being manipulative or platonic relationships, and I do respect that about him, if there is anything to respect about Sol. And last is Rosetail. Not going to lie, this is 100% inspired by Moonkitty's video on Rosetail. I had completely missed any of the scenes or dialogue the Blue X Rose shippers saw when reading Blue Star's prophecy. It wasn't until that video that I could understand why people ship them or headcanon Rosetail as queer so much, despite the fact that I've taken part of a Blue Rose map in the past. Rosetail reminds me of that old bisexual meme with the Velociraptor, where it says bisexual people can't make friends, there's only prey. This satirical meme kind of perfectly captures Rosetail's headcanon queerness, and I mean, with how quick she is to gush about Oakheart. A cat she definitely should not feel any sort of way for. It's not hard to see why people would similarly ship her with other characters so quickly, namely Blue Star, of whom she seems very interested in the romantic endeavors of. The fact that Rosetail never has documented kittens either is an interesting addition to that possible queer Rosetail headcanon. While I gave her the pansexual flag for this bust, it's just as likely that she could be another either asexual, lesbian, or even aromantic she-cat who just really wants romantic attention from other cats. Either way, Rosetail is just enough of a blank slate for headcanons to perhaps be valid assumptions, if taking authors' or editors' or publishers' intent out of the question. And so, this has been my second batch of Queer Warriors headcanons. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and if you want, all these designs should be available on my Redbubble if you're interested in purchasing them, as well as all the other kitties from my last batch. Sorry for the commercialization, but these things are explicitly made for being on pins because I wear them all on my backpack, so I feel like you should also know that they're available to you too. Anyway, happy Pride Month! Bye!